Hey guys, I'm on to day 11 of my passport challenge. And this week I wanted to focus on SpongeBob's camera. And not just the camera, but also the Story Maker app that allows you to use your photographs to create some sort of a story or video. And it's actually quite good. But first, let's get into the camera. So as you will have heard from my full review that I published a couple of weeks ago now, the Passport's camera is massively improved from any other previous version of BlackBerry device. But then again, it wasn't exactly hard to beat BlackBerry cameras in the past because even when they were launched, they were terrible. But the 13 megapixel sensor has been equipped with optical image stabilization, which means that when you're taking photos on the move, especially when it's in low light, you get less blur, less blurry noisiness. It also has full 1080p video recording. To actually use the camera, there are various ways of launching it, but my favourite by far is launching it from the home screen or the lock screen. Press and hold the camera icon on the bottom, and while the circle sort of goes all the way around, it eventually launches the camera. Now when you open it up, it automatically tries to shoot in square, but you can change this ratio. Now if you go through the little menu options on the right hand on the bottom edge of the screen, then you can choose various settings and change all sorts of things. Now the top one enables you to change the scene. Now it's set to automatic automatically, but you can also change it to whiteboard, you can change it to an action shot, you can change it to a beach or snow shot, and it'll adapt the settings based on where you are with some sort of preset setting adjustments done. There's also an ability to switch HDR on. Now HDR is high dynamic range. Now this basically enables you to even out shots when you're taking it in areas where you've got really bright light and really dark shadows. It takes multiple shots and balances out the exposure so it doesn't look like just white sky, black shadows and nothing else. And it works quite well on the BlackBerry. You can also have a timer shot. Now you can set this to 3 seconds or 10 seconds, or you can just switch it off. It depends what you want to do with the camera. Within this menu as well, you've got the option to go into the settings, and here you have lots of toggle switches to switch all sorts of settings on or off. These include automatic face detection, auto suggestions, which basically advises you on the best setting or the best option to choose for the photograph you're taking. So like with the HDR, it'll tell you when's the best time to use HDR. Now I have these switched on for now, but you can obviously switch them off. You can switch grid lines on or off, you can switch video stabilization on or off, or continuous video autofocus or geotagging. But the big question here is, what are the actual results like? And I have to say, they're not bad. I mean, compared to some of the top camera phones on the market, like the Sony Xperia Z2 or Z3, iPhone 6 or the Galaxies, they're not the best. But compared to every other BlackBerry, they're incredible. You get some really good sharpness, it focuses well, it seems to take the pictures quite quickly. I wasn't sat there waiting ages for the shutter. It seemed to do it. It's not instant, there are much quicker phones, but it wasn't slow and laggy either. With some shots, I actually even got some decent colour as well, particularly when I had HDR on. Low light performance is okay, but not the best. Now, unless I was really close to the subject, I also found that focusing wasn't a problem either, unless it was in low light. Especially when I was taking pictures of my children, so oftentimes if they were moving a little bit too much, I'd get lots of blur. So the shutter, I guess in low light, isn't that fast. It doesn't take as much light in as quickly and takes a little bit extra time to try and get enough light in to make a good picture, and ending up with some blur, which isn't great. But one of the cool features that the BlackBerry has and has done since BlackBerry 10 came out is the time shift feature. You take a picture of somebody's face and then you can scroll backwards and forwards within that shot. It takes a couple of seconds shot, and you can change it so that you've got the best face. So if you're taking a selfie, you can pick the perfect crazy doctor from Back to the Future face shot. It also has burst mode, which enables you to take lots of shots in quick succession, and panorama, which enables you to take a panorama shot. Now let's get on to Story Maker. Now using this couldn't be simpler. It essentially takes your photos that you want, turns it into sort of a slideshow with music and titles and a credit. So first of all you launch the app, then you pick your photos. And of course you have to ensure that you choose an appropriate soundtrack from the pre-selected ones there or from your music library. You create your title and credits. Once you've done all that, you can watch the magic unfold. And here you can watch mine. Pretty sure I nailed it. That rock guitar really brings out the sort of autumnal feel you get this time of year in the northwest of England. Of course then, once you've finished, you can share it. It takes a few minutes to do that because you have to save it onto your device, and then you can share it via various social media, email, onto Dropbox. So that's been my experience with the camera. Yes, I've used better, but if I was using the BlackBerry device, or I am using the BlackBerry device as my daily driver, I haven't really felt like I'm lacking too much. It's not as bad as if I'd switched to a BlackBerry a couple of years ago and tried using that camera as my daily one. Anyway, if you want to follow my challenge, I sometimes tweet out about it on Twitter. I'm at phonedog_cam. Ask me any questions using the hashtag #PassportChallenge. Of course, use the comments down below. Let me know what else I need to try out. For those of you asking about BlackBerry Blend and BlackBerry Passport keyboard videos in this challenge, I have already done those. A couple of weeks ago I did a couple of really in-depth videos, and I'll leave the links to those in the description box down there. That's been it for this video. I will see you again soon.